Guys, just imagine how much fun it would be if you could actually sit in your house surrounded by your favorite animals and you could actually dine with them, talk to them, have a proper conversation with them, live with them, and your favorite animals could actually dole out a lot of advice about your personal life and professional life, what should be your love life like, what should be your career change trajectory like, how should you develop multiple sources of income. Just imagine your favorite animals could dole out all this advice to you in a very motivational guru fashion. Just thinking about this, brings a smile on my face and probably brings a smile on the faces of all animal lovers. So, which is why the book I'm going to talk about today is very, very special. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Rati here, and today I'm going to talk about a very, very special book, The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. So guys, this book genuinely brought a smile to my face because, reading a lot of serious books, especially non-fiction, reading all that motivational books jargon, it's interesting, it's informative and insightful, but it can get a bit too much on your nerves. So this kind of a book is a refreshing break, especially because I absolutely adore and love Japanese fiction. So as the name suggests, this is a Japanese book, original written in Japanese, this novel, and then it's been translated into English. So as the cover suggests, in the cover you can see a cute cat and who is sitting on a pile of books and looks like, a very intelligent kind of a cat who can see into the future. Slightly, of course, fattish, plump cat. As the cover suggests, the book is actually about a cat who helped a boy save books. I don't want to reveal to you much about the plot, but because that would spoil the fun, but just little basic gist I would give you guys. So the story is set in a small town in Japan, and it's about the life of this high school kid called Rintaro Natsuki. Now Rintaro is a very, kind of a reticent, introverted kid, one of those people who don't seem to have any kind of personality, even though he's intelligent and he probably has a lot to say, but the way he is, he's not one of those people whom you would, see separately in the crowd, one of those people who get sort of, absorbed in the crowd, no specific or strong personality. Now Rintaro's grandfather runs a bookshop, and it's a very unique bookshop because it's one of those bookshops which sell the rarest of literary collections, literary books, which you cannot find anywhere. So it's not a run-of-the-mill bookshop, and in fact it's a contrast to those glitzy bookshops which are constantly selling bestsellers and the books which are just selling on the basis of the commercial value of books, whereas Rintaro's grandfather runs a bookshop which is selling these rare books, and even though they might not earn so much of money, but they are very particular about the kind of books they sell. So a tragedy strikes in Rintaro's life when his grandfather passes away all of a sudden, and this leaves Rintaro completely blank as he's just, living with his grandfather, so he doesn't know what to do next. But his love for books, his passion for books kind of, keeps him afloat. And then all of a sudden, one fine day, a strange creature lands into his life, and this is a talking cat, and this, very kind of bossy and talking cat appears out of nowhere in the bookshop which Rintaro is running after his grandfather, and the cat then takes him on a mission to save books, to rescue books, and like a knight in shining armor, James Bond fashion, this very reticent kid who is just completely unsure of himself, he actually passes through several labyrinths, and very dangerous labyrinths, along with this cat, and he meets very strange creatures and he rescues books. Now, how he passes through those labyrinths, what are those labyrinths? If I tell that to you, then the complete plot will be spoiled, so I want you to read for yourself. But that's the basic gist of the story, and the amazing part here is that so obviously he emerges victorious from all these labyrinths and rescues books, and the mysterious cat who appears in Rintaro's life then actually helps him realize his own self, and this whole thing about chasing the labyrinths and rescuing books actually gives Rintaro a lot of self-confidence and makes him discover his own courage, because this guy who doesn't sort of have any courage and is shy and and completely too overtly soft-spoken and doesn't know what to say, is completely unsure about him. So rescuing books then becomes a metaphor for his own self-realization, and in the end, this actually, the cat magically disappears, but all this business actually helps him sort out his own life, personal life, and also his goals and ambitions, what he brings, what he wants from life. So the cat helps him rescue books, but also acts like a motivational guru to Rintaro. So this is the gist of the story. I absolutely loved reading this book because it's written in the characteristic, Japanese fiction style, which is the kind of writing style I love the most. So in, mostly the Japanese books which you'll be reading, fiction books, there will be a realist plot. The setting will be very, very realist. It will be some place in Japan, and the characters will be from Japan, but the treatment will be very, very fantastic and magic. It will be, in the magic realism genre. So very extraordinary things will happen, with these very seemingly real characters, which is what happens in Haruki Murakami's novels also. And then in the end, there will be a moral of the story. There will be some lesson learned, which is like the typical structure of a fairy tale. So at least this book, I can say, it works like the typical fairy tale structure. You can call it a modern fairy tale about books, which is why I absolutely loved it. Another unique thing is, of course, the whole plot. The whole idea about a cat saving books is so unique and rare. I haven't read such a unique plot in a long time. It's so conventionally different and refreshing. So I think for any book lover or cat lover, it's a must read. The whole idea, of a whole book, sort of a whole book centering around the theme of a high school kid and a cat rescuing books together, it's just so completely different and appeals to me. As far as the writing style is concerned, like I said, it's a lot of magic realism, and it's almost like Harry Potter style. So there's a lot of Harry Potter style, the way fantasy's been used. Of course, it's a bit less complex than that because the plot is simplistic. It's a straightforward plot. There's Rintaro, there's this grandfather who's of course passed away, so he's not there in the novel. There's this cat, and there's a girlfriend of Rintaro, and and there's Rintaro's aunt. So there's just some people, and then people whom he meets at the labyrinth. The plot is very, very simple, and it moves forward in a linear fashion, but there's enough suspense to keep you going. So I really enjoyed it because personally I like these kind of plots where you can actually understand what is happening. I don't like those kind of novels with a lot of convoluted jargon going back and forth. So I mean, if I were to criticize that book, I really do not find any criticism personally because I love this book. But yeah, maybe for people who are used to reading different kinds of novels, if you're used to a lot of too much of action in terms of different characters and too much back and forth and that kind of style, then maybe you might find this novel a bit slow and boring. But like I said, maybe I do not think that this novel is boring at all. It's actually adorable, and the most important thing about this novel, The Cat Who Saved Books, is that it actually gives you a lot of messages through this story. It gives you a lot of messages about the problems plaguing the world of books in the current time. So be it the commercialization of books, the way bestsellers are being churned out every day, and like people who write genuine stuff are kind of getting lost in the rut, or be it the fact that books cannot survive in a changed world, and there are people who just sort of sell books for the heck of it, for the sake of money, but they do not really love books. So a lot of problems which the books are facing in these times, very innovatively the novel raises a question. Of course, it's fiction and it's all this kind of fantastical story of rescuing books, so it's very indirectly that these problems have been raised. But a book lover can certainly appreciate the problems surrounding the world of books and how this book is addressing those problems. So I would definitely recommend this book to you and give this book a 5/5 rating. It's an extremely easy read. The language is animated and it's very simple, and if you want you can finish it in one setting because it's very riveting also. You just cannot leave. Each chapter is devoted to a separate labyrinth, so you want to find out what's happening in the next labyrinth and how is Rintaro going to rescue books now in the next chapter, what roadblocks will he face. You're going to be completely glued onto this book. So I definitely recommend this book to all book lovers and cat lovers as well. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you like my content, please do press the like button, and please do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.